Points and promises made during the following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, Clear Channel Communications Incorporated.
Welcome to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ, offering support for those who care for a loved one. A show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show. I hope you had a beautiful weekend, whether you're with friends, family. Maybe you did Easter egg hunting. Maybe you just made a phone call and connected to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. But whatever it is, I hope it was beautiful for you, and I hope you took that time to get some rest. Maybe you actually took a nap during the day like I did. On Sunday, I just kind of crashed and just needed to rest, and I did. And, you know, as active caregivers, and I include myself because having the caregiver helpline and being a coach, I still continually help families. They call me, I set up appointments to meet with them, I connect them with resources all in my office, or we go to Starbucks or Panera Bread, someplace where we can really make a difference for them. I am working with a family right now who actually called me because they had heard on the show that I am now having this helpline. And let me give you that number in case you need some help. It's 1-877-552-4950. And this woman really is at the point of feeling very resentful, and she doesn't want to feel that way. And her husband has an illness that is taking on a life of its own. And so I spoke to her a few times. We're having her daughter meet with us, and we actually are bringing the Alzheimer's Association in to help with this family. So again, if you just have a simple question, or you're just feeling burned out, or you just don't know where to turn, we are the resource for you. We've gathered all these fabulous resources and experts for you to help you create the balance. So again, that toll-free number is 1-877-552-4950. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways for caregivers to care for themselves, and this is such an important message, and I kind of want to drum it in because this is how we create balance. This is how we recharge ourselves, rejuvenate ourselves, and the whole show really is about this purpose. And I've got 3 wonderful guests. Yes, it's a jam-packed show, and I've got fabulous events coming up too. So if you've missed any part of this show, you definitely want to go back and listen to the podcast or even the web live stream and just watch us and see what we have to offer you. Today, our guests are Linda Burhans, and Linda's been here every month now for several months, and we're so thrilled to have Linda. And Linda and I have been friends for quite a few years now, so it's just so nice when you have a friendly face here in the studio with you. And she is a caregiver advocate at Harmony Home Health, and we know that Linda's heart really is in a place where she is always there for caregivers. She's a caregiver herself, and just to reiterate how many support groups she does manage, and it's a lot. And that means she's giving so much of herself all the time. And we're going to find out from Linda how she takes care of herself. We're going to put her on the spot and see if she's got a few tips. But I know she probably has at least 5 ways for you to do it for yourselves. And then we have Lias Lawrence, president at Assisted Transition, who is now with Care Patrol, and we're going to be talking about that very shortly, that there's been this change in the community, and Lisa's going to guide us and tell us what that's all about. Again, it was Assisted Transition, and now she is with Care Patrol, and she's doing just great. We had a really great conversation on Friday at our office, and she's here today, and we're ready to go. And Dr. Kelly Miller, he is our new sponsor, and he is hot. I am telling you, so many people are now calling me. They called last week, they emailed us, and now we're doing a group visit at Dr. Miller's. He's Miller Clinic for Optimal Life and Optimal Health, and really helping us with our life and having an optimal life as well. So we've got a great show, and everyone has their different objectives of ways for caregivers to care for themselves. And if you feel like you've heard this before, maybe you need a good reminder, or maybe there's going to be a new tip that you hadn't thought of. If you would like to ask us any question, or maybe you would like to make an appointment with any of my sponsors, you're welcome to do that. And my guests, it's 1-877-897-8255. You can call us while we're live on the show, or just like someone did for last week, they emailed me after the show, and that's kim@thecaregiverhour.com. Again, we're live web stream, so you can see us. And you can also iChat us right now during the show. It's, again, going to the website, thecaregiverhour.com, and just looking at the bottom of the page, and we are live right now, and you can do an iChat. So we're doing all sorts of wonderful things. So let me bring on Lias Lawrence with Care Patrol, formerly Assisted Transition. So, Lisa, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad to be here.
Good. It's great to see you, too. How was your weekend?
It was, I ate too much, but other than that, it was fabulous. Very good.
I understand. We went to someone's home and ate a lot, too, and watched the kids do Easter hunting, egg hunting. It was a lot of fun. Tell us what's happening in your life, because there's some great changes.
Yes, some really positive changes. We opened up Assisted Transition, my daughter and I, last year, and we had been serving and helping a lot of families find assisted living, independent living, memory care, and so forth. And Assisted Transition was acquired by Care Patrol. Care Patrol is an awesome company. We were happy to move over to that brand because it's a brand that focuses on safety for seniors, which is really important to us. And we're really having more of a focus on now making sure that seniors are in a safe environment and not just finding the right place for them, which we've always done, and we've always helped families do that at no cost. But now we're really focused on finding the safest communities for them. And we're looking at...
how do you do that? So
Yes.
that's because safety could mean so many things. Tell us what that means exactly.
Well, we do a care discovery, and we understand what they need in terms of their care, what their social preferences are, and where they want to be geographically. But now we take the extra added step of checking the safety and care violations of the communities where we will be recommending that they go to make sure that they are truly capable of accommodating their needs.
So that to me is advocacy, which is always a plus, because families don't even always know about the ACA reports that are available and that have to be visible to anyone visiting that community.
Right.
So have you found them to be easily, readily available when you ask a facility for their ACA reports or the surveys?
Yes, they are, and we can also access them directly. So
Okay.
we access them directly to make sure that
Okay.
we know exactly if there are any issues, we know what they were, and we know what kind of action plan has been put into place to accommodate them.
Well, and sometimes they've been taken care of right away, and so
Yes.
you'll be able to get that information.
Absolutely.
I was just at a facility, and the book was sitting right there at the table, and I looked through the book, and you know what? There was a problem, but it was resolved within a week. And so that's all you really want to know, that it's nothing too dangerous, but also that it's been taken care of.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Right.
excellent. So tell us a little about Care Patrol, because I've been showing the brochures as you've been speaking, and just their logo is very powerful. It's a care with a check off, a red check mark, patrol, and it's better senior living choices, it says. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, the company is owned by a master's level social worker, and he started this business 20 years ago because he was looking for a client, a place for them to go for assisted living, and they had been placed into a community that had a really low quality level, and they weren't delivering the care that this particular client needed. So that he saw the niche, he saw
Right.
the need, and he developed a company. He's been doing this for 20 years. At this point, there are about 115 locations across the country, Care Patrol locations, who are doing this.
Wow.
They have social workers on staff. They have a call center that is manned by social workers. And so they really are more responsive to people's needs and understanding the social aspect of all of this placement and the issues that might arise, emotional issues, all kinds of issues that might arise, financial issues, and they gave us the tools to help address those issues with our clients.
But also, Lisa, you've made the connection with us, which helps us make the connection for your clients, and that's what we're so thrilled about, because it's a great partnership. I also want to say very quickly, we have about one more minute before we go to our break. What also sets you apart is that you just don't get the information and shout it out to everyone. You really take the personalized approach. Tell us a little more about that. If a family is watching or listening to the show and they're trying to make a decision, how can you help them?
Well, we do that care discovery, which I discussed, and generally that's in person, and we will actually get to know the family and understand what they're looking for and what their needs are. Then we do the safety check. We make sure that the communities that we think are a good fit for them are safe and managing their care appropriately. Then we tour with them to the communities to make sure that they look at the pictures, but sometimes the pictures don't tell the story. You have to feel comfortable with the community before you move in. So we tour them there. We take them there. And then, of course, it is a free service. We do not charge our clients for this service. So some of the things that we've done all along continue to happen, but I just think we're adding a new level of service for all of that.
That sounds perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'm really glad you're here today, and congratulations on your change.
Thank you.
I wanted to let you know we want you to come back because we've got more with Linda and Linda Burhans and Dr. Kelly. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Caregiving can be an overwhelming and stressful experience. Aston Gardens, Tampa Bay's premier senior living community, is excited to be able to support those who care for others. Please join them the third Thursdays of the month at 5:30 p.m. to learn creative problem-solving techniques and caregiving ideas from others who have been in your shoes. Aston Gardens specializes in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Chosen for the third year in a row by the U.S. Commerce Association for the Best of Tampa Bay Award in residential care. Call 813-855-2811 or visit AstonGardens.com for more info.
Injured in a car accident or suffering from back and joint pain for a while? Clearly, you need to see a doctor. Call Dr. Ben, a chiropractor with 25 years experience. He listens, he cares, he gets results. His common sense approach? Coaching patients to be self-sufficient and less doctor-dependent. Let's face it, there are many things you can do to improve your health. Call Dr. Ben at 727-488-8044. Mention the Caregiver Hour radio show for a free examination. 727-488-8044. Dr. Ben, your coach to better health. 727-488-8044.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
St. Joseph's John Knox Village of Tampa Bay, Tampa's premier retirement community, is part of the Baycare Health System. John Knox Village is known for its successful aging lifestyle, along with spacious apartments. John Knox Village offers a wide range of activities to fill one's life spiritually, physically, mentally, educationally, and nutritionally. In addition, every level of care is available to meet the needs of the aging population. John Knox Village, comfortable, casual, and secure for life. To schedule a tour, call 1-800-272-5669.
I'm Mike Lavoie with Beacon Asset Management. While 30 years of experience in financial services may have prepared me to be a certified financial planner, no amount of planning could have prepared me for the stress of being a caregiver. The financial planning my dad and I did when my mother became ill made caring for her bearable. At Beacon, we are committed to helping you take care of your financial needs so you can take care of your loved ones. Give us a call at 813-269-0732. 813-269-0732.
Your home is where you feel relaxed, safe, and secure. Arcadia Home Care understands that you want to maintain that freedom and independence, even though you may be recuperating from an injury, illness, or simply require a little support with daily activities of living. You create a plan for your life as you envision it, and you can rest assured Arcadia will provide companionship, personal care, housekeeping, shopping, and errands, or whatever you need. They deliver their services with compassion, dependability, and professionalism. Their caregivers are screened, bonded, and insured, and must meet rigorous hiring standards, so you are confident you're receiving the best care possible for you or your loved one. Visit ArcadiaHomeCare.com or call St. Petersburg at 727-579-9414 to schedule your free in-home assessment and learn how Arcadia can enhance your quality of life while helping you stay at home and healthier longer. Call Arcadia Home Care, 727-579-9414, providing quality services since 1978.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am just so thrilled to be here this morning here at the radio station with our guests. We're talking about 5 ways for caregivers to care for themselves, and that's such a challenge in the caregiving role. And whether we're a professional or family caregiver, that's a bit of a struggle. It doesn't come easy because we're always ready to give and not always to ourselves first. But Linda Burhans is an expert. She is a caregiver advocate and a caregiver herself for Harmony Home Health here in the Tampa Bay area. And so, Linda, welcome back to the Caregiver Hour.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's beautiful out.
It's great.
Yeah. How are your grandchildren?
They're wonderful.
Oh,
We're
that's
recovering
great.
from Easter's almost like Halloween. There's so much candy in the house.
I hear you.
But only one egg missing. Only one egg hasn't been found.
I'm sure it'll pop up somewhere.
Yeah, as long as it's not the hard-boiled one, we're okay.
So tell me, Linda, you were listening to Lias Lawrence talking about Care Patrol and the services they provide. Tell us about, just briefly, about Harmony Home Health.
Well, Harmony Home Health is a private duty home health care company, and we can help keep your loved one at home for as long as possible, whether it's through activities of daily living, whether it's companionship, whether it's transportation, whether it's meal prep. Caregivers need to give themselves a little break and realize there are companies like Harmony Home Health that can do that. I didn't know about any of this when I was on my caregiving journey with my mom. I thought it's all my responsibility. I have to do this. But caregivers need to use places like Harmony and community resources and friends and family to help them because it's a tough journey.
Right.
It's a tough journey.
So you lead these fabulous support groups, and I actually referred a family to you to attend one of your support groups. Tell us, during those conversations, do you feel that people are making a shift and really taking it a little more seriously, that they do need to take care of themselves?
I think they definitely are. And
Good.
One of the groups I did the other day, a gentleman came back and everybody was like, "Oh, we're so glad that you're back and you look so much better than you did the last time you were here." Because they start finding out about resources, finding out it's okay to ask for help, to accept help, and then they encourage each other.
That's great. That's great.
So that, I didn't find out what respite care was until I was in my bereavement group. Well, that didn't really help me very much.
Right.
So just in them knowing that there's these things available, and that it's okay to say yes, and it's okay to be a little vulnerable.
Yes.
Because they feel like they have to be the big, strong soldier to
Right.
take care of everything.
Well, Robin Roberts is on the cover of People magazine, and I love People magazine, and she tells her story. She's the cover story telling
her.
about her, I know, and her bravery and her, challenges with 3 different types of illness. And she says that what she learned was to ask for help when someone offers, to say yes, and that's not a weakness, that's a strength. And I feel that that's very true.
Well, you've heard me tell this story once before where I met someone after my mom had passed away, and they said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Okay." And they said, "I'm sick of hearing that from you, Linda." And they said, "We have to tell you that when you were taking care of your mom, you stole my joy." I was like, "I did what?" And she said, "I could see you swimming in quicksand, and every time I offered to help you, you said, 'No, I'm okay.'"
Yeah.
And that was like a light bulb.
But, it's kind of on automatic. We say that because we've got so much else to do. So,
Right.
And it's really being in the moment and being in the present. And when someone offers you that gift, that you're really able to lift your head up and accept it. And we can't always do that. We try to do the best we can.
Well, I encourage caregivers to, because like you say, you don't know what to say when someone
Right.
asks you, is to take a little time to sit down and make a list of some things they can accept help with. Then when someone asks you, you can just pull out the list and say, "Hey, could you mow my
Yep.
lawn?" Or "Could you come visit with my mom?"
Yes.
So I could have an hour to myself.
Right.
And most of the times the person's going to be like, "Yeah, I'm ready. Go when? I've been asking you for 2 months."
Yeah, exactly. So listen to us. We want you to
Yes.
say yes when someone offers you help. What is respite care? You mentioned that, and of course I know what that is, but why don't you explain that to our listeners and viewers?
It's for the caregiver to take some time to take care of themselves. And there are many different kinds of respite care.
Mm-hmm.
You can have respite care in your home, or a friend or a family member or a home health care company could come in. You can have respite care by taking your loved one to a facility. A lot of them have adult daycare or an overnight stay. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of the person you're caring for. Every day there are caregivers that are dying before the people they're taking care of because they haven't taken care of themselves. Right. And like I always say, your caregiving experience can be horrific or it can be one of the most beautiful experiences in your life, depending on how you handle it. So when you take that little time, respite care could just be 2 hours a week sometimes. That I have respite care with my grandchildren. So every Friday night, I know I have no grandchildren on Friday nights. And whether I choose to go out and see friends or just sit on the couch or read a book, I know that I have that time coming. And lots of times that will get me through tough parts during the week. So I encourage caregivers, whether it's on a regular basis, like every Friday night or something, or you switch off with different people, is to get that time. And it's also good for your loved one, because I hate to say it, sometimes your loved one's a little sick of just looking at you too.
Right.
They need a little break from you. And and many times when that happens, and they realize what wonderful care you are supplying to them, and they're more grateful, and it changes the whole situation, because now we appreciate each other a little more.
Well, what's also good about you being on the show today with Lisa is that Care Patrol does help people place who are ready to be placed, but sometimes they're not always ready. And this way, Lisa has an option to know who she can refer to if someone is wanting to stay home. But also sometimes during that transition period where someone's moving from home into a facility, they sometimes need that extra hand holding and support. And that's really where Harmony can come in as well. So I just want to let you know that I really am glad that you're on together today, because I think, again, that's really showing the family how we look at them holistically and trying to provide all different types of services. And we're a really beautiful community where we really do support each other in whatever that caregiver's journey is with their loved one.
I'll tell you, we're blessed in the Tampa Bay area. There's some fabulous people here that really do make a difference, that really care.
Have the right heart in the right place.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not about money. It's about helping the caregivers.
Right. One other we've got like a minute and a half, journaling. I know that's your beautiful forte.
Journaling.
Can you do a quick little tip for people?
Journaling can be a respite care right in your own home, where you could just sit down and take a piece of paper out and get your feelings out. There's something about the physicality of writing that blocks everything else out. And people say, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. You can take the piece of paper and write down, I don't know where to start. You can write down 3 words that just come to your mind. Or you can start out, we've just talked about this before, with a gratitude journal. If you can write down every day a couple of things that you're grateful for, you'll find out that you'll start looking for more things to be grateful for. I have a joy journal that I carry around in my car. When I see something joyful during the day, I pull over to the side of the road and write it down. People go, you actually pull over to the side of the road? And I said, you know what? I actually think I deserve 5 minutes of joy, maybe 3 times a day.
Yeah. Yes, you do, Linda, and more.
But when you can write out your feelings.
Yes.
It helps you sort better.
Yes.
It helps you sort better.
And this woman who I'm going to be speaking to who's feeling resentful, I'm going to be talking to her about your idea about journaling. So we're going to have you come back at the end of the show with one more tip for our caregivers. All right. And again, this segment was being brought to you by Harmony Home Health. You are not alone. Trust your family to take care of ours. Call 727-723-7532 for more information. I love Harmony Home Health. They help me with my family. Stay with us. We've got more with Lias Lawrence and Dr. Kelly Miller. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
From the Simpson Air Studios, this is 1250 WINS WHNZ, Tampa Bay, an iHeart radio station.
Attention annuity owners, stop wasting thousands of dollars every year in fees. Do a tax-free exchange of your current annuity and save thousands every year. No commissions, no lockup periods, complete access to your money from day one. Go to NoCommissionAnnuity.com and see the difference. NoCommissionAnnuity.com.
The only thing certain about the stock market is its uncertainty, but what if you could earn a whole lot more than what you could get at the bank on a CD or a savings account? And you can. Call my friend David Graham. David is a fiduciary, which means he works for you. He doesn't work for the bank or a national brokerage house or an insurance company that could have their own agenda. He works for you, and he focuses on wealth preservation. Call David Graham at 1-800-808-5009, 1-800-808-5009.
Would you like to know how to become 3 times less likely to experience a home burglary? Mike Melton, president of Security Alarm Now, is here to tell us about that.
Statistics show that you're 3 times less likely to have your home broken into when monitored by a home security system. Right now, we're offering listeners a complete ADT security system free of charge when they call
1-888-511-1439.
You only pay $99 for the installation, and the monitoring is only about $1 a day.
That's really economical, especially when you're talking about the safety of your family. Are there any other offers for our listeners?
Yes, the next 20 people who call 1-888-511-1439 will receive a free upgraded two-way voice keypad, which in the event of an emergency allows you to talk to the ADT dispatcher through your keypad. It will also include a $100 Visa gift card. Call 1-888-511-1439. That's 1-888-511-1439.
Join the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in helping to end cancer. The Man and Woman of the Year Grand Finale Gala will be held Friday, May 9th from 6 to 11 p.m. at the Hilton, downtown Tampa. Come join in the fun. You can purchase tickets for $150 each at www.mwoy.or/sun.
Need AC? Call Simpson Air, the coolest guys in town. Log on to thecoolestguys.com.
This report is brought to you by Empire Turf. Ready to upgrade your lawn? Make the switch to Empire Turf. Empire Turf is the proven zoysia grass and has been the standard in Florida for over a decade. Empire Turf is chinch bug resistant and drought tough. For a lawn that will wow the neighborhood, get Empire Turf. For where to buy, visit empireturf.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, on Gun Highway, there's a hit and run that occurred south of Lutz Lake Fern. Got a couple of wrecks, one block in the right lane on 50th Street, a little bit south of Causeway. In Pinellas County, there's a crash on Seminole Boulevard at Park Boulevard and an accident off to the side westbound on 590 at McMullen Booth. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Udrick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Highs in the mid to upper 70s this afternoon. Should see some sunshine break through that cloud cover we've seen most of the morning throughout the afternoon. Also dry today, lows in the mid to lower 60s. And tomorrow back up near 80 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Should be definitely more sunny for tomorrow. Small chance of rain in the week, only on Thursday so far at 20%. And starting tomorrow and the rest of the week, we'll see those lower 80s. Wall Street, Dow is up 34, NASDAQ positive 7, the S&P index gaining 3, down to 16,442.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're having a great show today. If you just tuned in, we're talking about 5 ways for caregivers to care for themselves. We've been talking about respite care and attending support groups and also journaling. And during the break, Linda was talking about how she had put a resentment journal on her table, or had suggested to one of the caregivers that was going through this ordeal. And, to be able to just express yourself whenever it comes up, to be able to release it and write it out. What a great tip. And she's going to be coming back at the end of the show, and she's going to give us more information about that journal. But in the meantime, we have Dr. Kelly Miller. He's DC FASA at Miller Clinic for Optimal Health. And we're so thrilled to have him back today. He was on last week, and click, click, click. People called, people emailed, and now we're going to set up those appointments and go as a group to your office. So, welcome back, Dr. Kelly Miller.
Good morning. The more the merrier.
I know. Let's make it happen. Tell me how, we're so thrilled to have you here on the radio show and in our community, but I was wondering if you could tell me, how could caregivers take care of themselves from your point of view?
Well, this morning I'd like to share what I call the 6 essentials to health and well-being. So it's 5 plus 1, but they encompass the activities that we do on a daily basis that really determine our health and well-being and happiness. And the first is what we eat. Second is what we drink. Third is how we rest. The fourth is how we exercise. The fifth is what and how we breathe. And the sixth, which I have something about the journaling, is what we think. Okay.
So how does that, those sound perfect and very sensible, and it's always good to be reminded that there are 6 essentials to health and well-being. And I mean, I look at that and I think for caregivers, they may do 2 out of that 6. So we were here to kind of encourage them to do all 6, or at least another 1.
Absolutely. This is a time of stress, and one of the things, just to kind of go on Linda's coattails about journaling, one of the things about what we think, there's a lot of bad things that could come up in the relationship, and depending if you have a patient with Alzheimer's, they could be combative. They could say things out of character, and one of the biggest things is forgiving yourself and forgiving those around you for anything they may have said or done, and even writing it down is even more powerful. I give absolute love and forgiveness to Mom or Dad for anything they said or did that hurt my feelings. I give myself.
Yes.
I take myself off the hook. That's even more important. So that's something that we need to do all the time. But it's very important at this time, and as they are. The other things, what we eat. Lots of times when something like this happens, we put our life on hold. I'm going to do this when this is over. I'm going to do that when that's over. On a daily basis, we've got to get the nutrition we need. We need to eat some raw food factors. We need, and during this time, we tend to get a lot more sugar. Sugar is rewarding, so a lot of calories, not as much nutrition. We're drinking more soda,
We're
pop.
eating on the run.
Yeah, on the run. Sit down. It's very important. You sit down and just take a deep breath, lower your shoulders, and spend 10 minutes just so you can chew your food. Because if your mind's whirling, you're not digesting. And one of the things that can be really hard is sleep. Sleep is so important. If we don't get a good 7 or 8 hours, we can't recover, and we can't deal with what tomorrow brings. Something like melatonin, which we have a subdermal, is a great thing to help people get to sleep and quiet. And then exercise. We think, again, I'm going to get an exercise program as soon as this is over. This could be 3 months. This could be 3. We're putting our life on hold. So get outside, go for a walk. When you with the talk you talked about, Linda talked about, called it's the personal time. Go out and get out in the sunshine. It's important to get sunshine in our eyes because that raises our serotonin levels. It's good for our skin to get vitamin D, which is anti-depression, anti-anxiety. And the other aspect is breathing. When we tend to get anxious, we tend to breathe just with our chest. We don't do any deep breathing. We need to put our hands on our stomach. And we should be expanding like a balloon. Lots of us when we get emotional, we're just breathing in the upper third
and our shoulders go up.
Our shoulders are up.
And we breathe just from our chest. So that belly breathing is so important. I want to give you the toll-free number right now if someone wants to call and ask us a question. It's 1-877-897-8255. Or you can iChat us right now. My assistant Joe is right here with the computer, and we can see your questions. Again, that toll-free number is 1-877-897-8255. So what I like is that, Linda has come with some great tips for the caregiver from her perspective, and then you're coming from another whole perspective. This is what I love about the show and bringing different people on. And then Lias Lawrence is going to be coming from another perspective because she's actually an active caregiver right now herself. So tell us a little more, because I know that we are going to be coming to your clinic to learn how to eat well or be better about what we eat. Can you tell us a little about that and your special offer?
Yes, we're going to have a special offer for today, and it's $10. Or normally our consultation fee initially is $105. For $10, if you say 6 essentials to health and well-being, I'll give you a $10 initial visit. But what we do in our office is we look at the challenges. What's your health challenge? What's not working? I'm not sleeping. I'm having trouble losing weight. I'm just tired. My muscles and joints hurt. Whatever it is, we figure out what the symptoms are. Then we figure out the best way to solve that.
Okay, and during that appointment, how do they go about that? They come and meet with you. Is that an hour consult? Is there blood work involved in that? Is there genetic testing? Tell us a little more in depth about that.
Well, initially, all our forms are online, so we can go to www.drkellymiller.com, and you can fill out a form. That saves time. So you come in, then it's more focused. So we're going to I allow 45 minutes usually for initial consultation. Okay. So it depends on how complicated the issue is. So I want to know what the health challenges are, what's important to that person, and so that is addressed in a solution.
So if you're a caregiver and you've promised yourself that you're going to make one little change this week, we'll say just this week, I encourage you to call Dr. Miller. So, Dr. Miller, how do they reach you?
They can actually sign up on my website, drkellymiller.com, or call 813-774-3744.
And your office is located next to USF.
Pretty close. We're a little bit east of there. We're at 56 and Fowler in Temple Terrace area.
And I visited your office, and it's lovely. So I encourage you, if you are someone who is having some difficulties, this is a perfect time to give yourself a gift. And it's only $10. Again, the code is 6 Essentials to Health and Well-Being. And you certainly can email me, because one of our listeners did. She emailed me after the show. It's kim@thecaregiverhour.com. Again, Dr. Miller, your phone number so someone can make an appointment or go to your website.
Phone number 813-774-3744.
Because if people are using their phone, they may just call you right away instead of go to the website. But either way, you can take care of them.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're putting a group together, but we're first going to be filling out the form online, and then we're going to do a phone consult with you preliminary, and then the group of us are going to come down. So I just want to let you know, if you need a buddy to do that with, you can do that with us. And again, you can just email me at kim@thecaregiverhour.com, or you can call us right now and we can take your information. I have a producer, Steve, who can do that for you. Our toll-free number is 877-897-8255. Dr. Miller, let's go back to some of the ways people can help themselves. We were talking about supplements. Some people are comfortable just doing supplements as just a kind of helping boost their wellness. Maybe that's the way that they're going to start, and then come in and have an appointment with you. Can you tell us a little more about supplements?
Sure. We all, I think, in this day and age, because of all the environmental toxicity and the things that are in our food, everybody needs to supplement. That can vary between individuals, but certainly everybody, when you're under stress, you need more C vitamins, all the B vitamins, because that's how your adrenal glands need that, and your adrenal glands are your first line of stress. Emotional stress, not sleeping well, not eating right. So we need to do that. Vitamin D is very important. I have not seen a patient yet since I've been in Florida that had adequate vitamin D levels, and we're in the Sunshine State.
I know.
It's a natural mood elevator.
Okay.
It's anti-anxiety.
And so, how much, when you say these, how much should someone taking? And then I'm looking forward to having you come back soon, because I want to talk about the foods, because it could be supplements and our foods. How much, when you say vitamin D or B, how much should they be taking?
Well, that's difficult to say. It's on an individual, but I would recommend at least 10,000 international units of vitamin D. You need a multi-B vitamin from a natural form, and sublingual is best, because as we get older, I think most of our group is probably 40 plus, and this age, as we get older, we get a little trouble digesting, so sublingual is much easier. We get right into the bloodstream.
And that's by liquid, you mean? Drops?
By liquid, under the tongue.
Okay. All right, that's perfect. Anything else you want to add before we go to our break?
I think the journaling is a good idea. Write down what you do. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of going on, and I think forgiveness is the key.
All right. Well, that is a wonderful key, and it's a good way to start your day or end your day, is by forgiving others as well as yourself. And that's a gift, and I really appreciate everything you had to say, Dr. Miller. We're going to have you come back, because we've got Lias Lawrence from Care Patrol here, but also some fabulous events that are coming up that you do not want to miss. And one of them is the Caregiver Hour going on location right here in our community. We've got 2 of them coming up in May. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business. private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer.
Caregivers, are you worried about mom or dad needing more care? How do you know when it's time to get help? Since 2004, Harmony Home Health has helped seniors in Tampa Bay find joy in their journey. You'd be amazed at how just a little bit of care can go a very long way. From just once in a while to every day of the week, your loved ones experience independence, safety, and dignity wherever they call home. And your whole family experiences harmony. With Harmony Home Health, you are not alone. You can trust their family to take care of yours. Call 727-723-7532 or visit their website at harmonyhh.com/Kim.
Caring for an elderly parent or a loved one with special needs can be challenging, stressful, and frustrating. If you need help finding the best professionals in the field of home care, legal advice, integrated practitioners, respite care, or a great support group, call the Caregiver Helpline at 1-877-552-4950. That's 1-877-552-4950. It's a free service provided by the Caregiver Resource Network. Call 1-877-552-4950 or go to thecaregiverhour.com. Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambaum, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambaumlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. We're having a really great conversation today because we've got different guests who can tell from their perspective 5 different ways caregivers can take care of themselves. And I didn't say empowered, I didn't say embrace. I talked about how they really can care for themselves. And I love the perspectives that we had from Linda Burhans, who's about journaling and respite care. Dr. Miller, more about your health and wellness and forgiveness. And now we have Lias Lawrence, who's really going to talk about from another perspective and a story from a family member who maybe was really needing some help and needed some care for themselves. So, Lisa, welcome back to the Caregiver Hour.
Thank you.
So tell us, from Lias Lawrence from Care Patrol, I should say, formerly with Assisted Transition, in case everyone knows her that way. We've made a change, and we're so happy that we are now embracing it here at the Caregiver Hour. So, Lisa, you have a story you could share with us?
I do. I have a few, but I'll pick one.
Okay.
I met this lovely woman. She called me after caring for her husband for about 7 years. He had gradually gotten worse. He had Parkinson's and the associated dementia. So physically, mentally, he was declining. And she had been the sole caregiver for him for all of those years. And she finally came to terms with the fact that she needed a break. She was a beautiful woman. She was very physically fit. And, you know, she was starting to break down. She wasn't sleeping at night. He was up at night. So she had already explored the option for having someone come into her home. And so when she called me, she was looking for other options. We took her to see some adult daycare programs. She kind of understood that this was probably going to be step one, but she did make a decision about taking him to one of the adult day programs and kind of seeing how that would go. And I think that eventually it will lead to, he may need to have 24/7 care, and she understands, I think, that she probably will need some help with that. It's too much for her, a burden for her to take on herself.
So I want to ask you, did you take her around to the adult daycare centers?
I sure did.
Okay.
And he went with us, by the way.
That's good.
And so I could see how much work it was for her to do anything because she couldn't leave him alone, and she had to take him with her anywhere that she went. It was a lot of work for her, and you could just see the frustration and the angst that she was feeling and guilt because she clearly loved her husband and she wanted to be the caregiver for him, but she was starting to finally recognize that it was taking a toll on her personally.
So there's a few things that come up for me. First of all, that you took the call, did your discovery, like you said, your care discovery, but then she didn't go into a facility. She just needed one step, and that was to and you listened really well, because you didn't push her further than where she needed to go. You really let her lead and then took her to adult daycare centers. And I think that's very admirable. And that's another testimonial of why you would want to call Lias Lawrence at Care Patrol, because she's going to really listen to what you have to say and really take care of you where you are in your life and in your caregiver journey. And I think that's very admirable, because there's no payoff for you. This is all free from the heart, what you're doing. Why don't we give them your contact information?
Okay, you can call us at 727-282-5019.
Okay, I love that. The other is, I want to ask you, did she take your advice and put him in an adult daycare program?
She did.
Okay.
She did. And her plan was to not only take him there a couple days a week to give herself a little break to do some other things, but she was also planning to do some overnight stays.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she must have been at that burnout level that we all know. We're all shaking our head where we go to and where we know we need to get some sleep. We need to get some rest. So as hard as that is, so that was a great story. What else would you like to say for our caregivers who you meet with all the time, face to face? How are they doing? Are they taking care of themselves, Miss Lisa?
Most of the time. Okay. Unfortunately, no, I don't think they are. And I'm sure everybody in this room would agree with me.
That's why we have this radio show and helpline.
And, you know, I guess what I would say on top of everything else that the others have said is that I know people feel guilty about the feelings that they are resenting, the time and attention that they're giving to someone, and they feel guilty about taking a break and doing anything for themselves when somebody they love is sick. But the fact of the matter is, you can't adequately care for them if you're not caring for yourself first. And you shouldn't feel guilty about that.
Right. Because, and I know we said we don't want to really use the word should, but it comes up in this conversation because it's really counterbalanced to really what you're doing. You're caring for someone. It makes sense that you also care for yourself. And being, like Dr. Miller was saying, the forgiveness part as well. So, Lias Lawrence, thank you so much for being with us. Again, your contact information in case someone wants to call and set up a tour.
Okay, 727-282-5019.
Okay, that's great. Linda, do you have a quick tip before we go to our events?
Yeah, when we were talking a little bit about the family that was a little resentful.
Yes.
I had worked with a family one time, and everyone in the family was angry. Everybody was angry. So we decided we bought a journal and we put it on the dining room table. We called it the Purge Journal. And anyone during the day could just pick it up and write in it. And you didn't have to read what anybody else wrote. You could just write down whatever you wanted to write down. And the one girl was really upset with her mom because she felt that her mother took advantage of her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after they did this for a couple of weeks, one day the mom read the journal and actually read what her daughter had said in it. And that evening she said to her daughter, "I want to thank you for how much you take care of me and what a good job you've done." And she never had ever said thank you to her daughter before.
Wow.
And she said the whole thing turned around. They kept that journal for a while and just kept spilling out their guts. And now the whole family has their gratitude journals.
Oh, that's great,
But
Linda.
it was a whole group effort. It made and it really worked. So consider that.
Yes, that's a great idea. I was wondering if Dr. Miller had anything else he would like to share with our listeners today and viewers.
Yes, I think probably the two biggest things I see with people in this area is they're not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And sleep's very important. Melatonin, absolutely. We have a transdermal that will absorb in your skin. It will allow you to go to sleep. The other is they're very fatigued. They need adrenal support with very specific herbs. Or they may feel like they're just stressed, overwhelmed, anxiety. We have emergency, they're called 911 formulas, stress anxiety formulas. And they've taken sublingual. They're from natural occurring plants. Very little interaction with any other potential medications they might be taking, and allow these people to start to get their nervous system calmed down.
Okay, that's wonderful. In case someone wants to get in touch with you, Dr. Miller, how do they do that?
drkellymiller.com or 813-774-3744.
That's wonderful. And if you want to come with us on our trip to see Dr. Miller to get well, you can just email me at kim@thecaregiverhour.com, and the offer is for $10 for a visit versus a consult that's normally $105. All you have to do is write in the code to me, 6 Essentials to Health and Well-Being. Thank you so much, Dr. Miller and Linda Burhans and Lias Lawrence. I wanted to just update you on some wonderful events that are happening. I know that Bill Rambam, whom I speak about a lot, is speaking for Arden Courts at the North Bay Community Church. They're doing an event at the church on McMullen Booth Road, and there'll be lunch provided by Arden Courts Memory Care Community. And it's going to be about the VA aid and attendance benefits for assisted living. And so many people don't know about this. And there is a way for you to have some financial assistance from the VA if your husband or yourself is a veteran. And again, that's at North Bay Community Church. And to RSVP, it's 727-796-0071. I want to say just very quickly, we have got 2 great events coming up. First of all, we're going to be doing the show live. This radio show is going to be live on the road at the Palms of Largo. They have this beautiful area called the Plaza, and they're located in Largo, Florida. So that's going to be on May 19th, so you want to pencil that in from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's actually going to be a big event. It's not just going to be the radio show. It's going to be part of a wonderful event. So we've got networking and visiting with vendors, and we've got on air. The show starts at 11 a.m. till noon. So instead of being at the radio station, we're going to be at the Plaza at the Palms of Largo. And we've got a special guest, Dr. John Young, and he's an integrated practitioner with the Young Foundation Health in Florida, with his sister Marcy Sadorf, who actually is the clinical liaison for the Palms of Largo. And that may sound very medical to you, but I am telling you, we are going to have a blast and have a lot of fun there. And there's going to be a free box lunch and exclusive conversation with Dr. John Young. You can RSVP at 727-288-9898 or go to joe@thecaregiverhour.com. And our next one, because this is so exciting, we're going to be join us for celebrating old Americans and their ageless spirits. Again, the radio show is going to be on Tuesday the 27th at 9 a.m. till noon. Just go to our website, and it has all the information for you. Again, it's thecaregiverhour.com, and look for our events. On Tuesday, May 27th from 9 a.m. till noon at Memorial Hospital of Tampa. So we're reaching out to seniors as well as caregivers. And that's going to be great guests as well, and an integrative panel discussion. Again, you can RSVP to us at thecaregiverhour.com. I hope this has been a great show for you, and maybe you've gotten 1 or 2 or 5 tips on ways to take care of yourself. I know I did, and we always need a gentle reminder. And I thought that forgiveness that Dr. Miller was really very poignant, and maybe it's something you want to embrace yourself. Just close your eyes and forgive yourself for something today. Be with you next week. I'm Kim Linder, the host of the Caregiver Hour radio show.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the preceding program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, Clear Channel Communications.